Talking about domestic violence, it's a tough conversation, especially with young children. But one group has found a way to make the conversation a bit easier by having it inside a barbershop. WMER2 News' Janae Wright shows us how the conversation with middle school students went at the Gud Shop.
Most lifelong friendships start at an early age, and before these students start building new relationships, they're at a barbershop talking about domestic violence. Barbershop talk is known as a way for men to connect with others and get advice about everyday life. For some people, the barbershop is a safe space. And on Monday, the safe space was the Gud Shop for a group of middle school students from Booker T, Washington.
This is one of those places where the most authentic conversations come to life, and our boys know it, our girls know it, and so just to create this space is incredible.
The topic of conversation is domestic violence, what it looks like and how to handle situations and even prevent violence before it happens.
They're building relationships early, and so we want them to learn the tools to communicate better, to communicate healthier, to learn respect and how to recognize signs early. That way, as they grow up, they have the tools already when they're in romantic relationships.
Not only were the students learning tools for better communication, Monsi, local nonprofits, and the barbers got to learn exactly what the younger generations know or don't know about domestic violence. Leo Aquino, who works at the Gud Shop, says the students' knowledge of the subject before the conversations was not so good.
I feel like it could be better, and that's why it's important that we have the conversation. We shouldn't sugarcoat it. It should be straight to the point, just so kids could truly understand that domestic violence, it happens. They've probably seen it and how to handle it and how to handle it even in the future.
He says he is glad this year's group was middle school students instead of older teens.
So installing it in them now versus later is super important, especially in this environment. They get more comfortable.
Ashley Rivera says since the first Cut the Silence event last October, Monsi has gotten more requests to have these type of conversations. She says many schools and organizations are reaching out saying,
we want to talk to our young people better. We need the language and the spaces and the trust to have these type of conversations because there's questions that are being asked and we don't have the right answers.
It's exactly why Rashida Ford, the principal at Booker T, Washington, brought her students to the shop.
And to talk about things that are uncomfortable, because when things are uncomfortable and you have the courage to talk about them, we kind of see change happen. And so I want them to be inspired to use their voice, to have difficult conversations, and to know that there are adults around them that love and care for them, that can help them have those conversations in a safe way.
Aquino says he also wants to encourage the students to be leaders and set a good example for those around them, especially when it comes to conflict resolution. Janae Wright, WMAR 2 News.